WDBO. Let's head on over to Mount Dora, where JR's got a question. Go ahead, JR.
Good afternoon. Appreciate you all being here for us.
Thanks,
I have two quick questions, if you don't mind.
All right.
I've got a Kawasaki motor on a ZTR, and all of a sudden, when I try to start it, it won't start unless I pour a little bit of gas into the carburetor. And then it cranks up. Is that possibly a fuel pump?
Okay. You got a Kawasaki motor on what now?
A ZTR mower.
What horsepower is it?
Ooh, it's I think it's 20 horse. I'm not really sure. It's a 54-inch cut.
Okay. JR, see, the thing is, well, if you put some gas in the carburetor and it starts up, does it continue to keep running?
Correct. That's how I have to do it. So choking it, I have to put a little bit of gas in there. And actually, I did some that ether last time, and it turned around, cranked up, and kept on running.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I think you may have a bad oil pressure switch. You know where I'm going with this? All right. See, you have
not really,
to,
but I'll research it.
Yeah, you'll have to have oil pressure, I believe, on that one. If you get low on oil, or if that switch is sticking, what it does is it won't allow the fuel pump to kick on. You see what I'm saying? So there's usually a safety switch on it to prevent the fuel pump from coming on if there is an issue. With the switch itself, or if it was low on oil, it would prevent the motor from, the fuel pump from supplying it the fuel pressure. Now, if for some reason
I disconnected the line to the carburetor and it pumped out fuel,
and it did pump out fuel, well, then I guess we verified that. Then the fuel pump is coming on when you go to cranking it. The only other thing would be if there was something. Has this thing set for a long period of time?
Unfortunately not. I've used it for mowing about 20 acres out here. And had nothing but problems with it since it's been new.
All right. On this carburetor, does it have a wire going to it for some reason or other, an electrical wire?
I can take a peek real quick.
Sure.
Yes, in the bottom of it.
Uh-huh.
Bottom of the bowl, there's two wires.
All right. What that is, that
black
is
and green.
that is a fuel shut off. And what that does is when you shut the vehicle off, or the tractor off, that prevents fuel from being able to be sucked in or sucked out of the carburetor. So that right there could very well be the whole entire problem. That's just a fuel cutoff is what it is. If there's if there's wires going to the carburetor, that's also a very common thing that they put on generators and any type of industrial equipment like that. So that right there, you might want to check when you're cranking it to see if you've got ground and power there to actually retract that. It sounds like whatever it is, once the motor starts, it's okay. But to get it started, something's blocking the fuel flow. That's the only thing it can be. So let's take a look at that next. But check the power for it, and you may have to remove it and actually bench test it to see if it's working with power and ground. Quickly, what's your other question?
Brother-in-law's got a tractor that's been sitting in the field for about 5 years. It's a diesel 60-horse John Deere.
Mm-hmm.
Before he wants to crank it up, I told him don't do nothing until I talk to you. Drain the fuel, drain the oil, and what else would you recommend?
Yeah, go ahead and get some fresh fuel in it. And get a couple batteries. You're going to need them, and make sure they're charged good. Connect them together with a couple jumper cables, and then spin it over. Hopefully the glow plugs are lighting up good, and that if it's got a good fuel pump and the injectors are working okay, it'll probably fire up. I mean, never underestimate an old diesel after it's been setting. Some of them will fire up fine after 15 years. I've been amazed. So especially on an older one like that. Good luck, JR, and I appreciate your call, sir.